Although the human population has reached well over 7 billion people and has made great technological advances, we are nowhere near to having secured our future as a species. Looking at all the weapons of mass destruction that we created, the mega cities that we dwell in, and the technology we utilize every day, it's easy to become arrogant. But as soon as we take a closer look at the destructive power of our own planet, coupled with human greed and stupidity, we are left no choice but be humbled and terrified at how fragile our lives really are. And indeed, this is what we're going to cover in this episode of the Science Centipede, the top 6 events that could cause the human extinction. Number 6. A supervolcano. Although volcanoes are already one of the most destructive natural disasters, with their potential of destroying entire cities, and the fact that a volcanic eruption releases massive quantities of toxic gases, let alone an eruption of a supervolcano. In one case, on August 28, 1883, a volcano in the island of Krakatoa erupted, rupturing sailors' eardrums up to 64 kilometers away and being heard over 2,000 kilometers away. This is equal to being in Boston and clearly hearing a noise from Dublin. Now that we know the true extent of the damage the volcano can cause, think about a supervolcano. We know that if a supervolcano was to erupt today, it would cause a second ice age due to the massive amounts of ash being ejected and blocking the sunlight, which would kill a big chunk of crops around the globe and lead to the starvation of millions. Number 5. Climate change. Global warming is causing sea levels to rise, as well as wild tropical storms. Honeybees have been disappearing by the millions since 2006 in something called colony collapse disorder, which is resulting in the slowing of propagation of food crops around the world. At least 30,000 species are become extinct every year, faster than any other point in history, which is causing major disruptions in the worldwide ecosystem. There's even something called the Clathrate gun hypothesis that says that there are massive deposits of methane gas under the ocean in permafrost that are in danger of melting. If that occurred, it would dramatically speed up global warming. Number 4. Nuclear war. We are living in an age where most threats to our survival are no longer external causes, but internal causes, which means that the threat of our creations is outweighing the threats of natural disasters. A prime example of this would be weapons of mass destruction. Nuclear weapons capable of pulverizing entire cities in an instant and causing long-term damage due to fallout. It is probably a miracle that the Cold War did not escalate into nuclear warfare. One time on the 26th of September 1983, the nuclear early warning system of the Soviet Union reported the launch of several nuclear warheads from bases in the US, if not because of a certain officer of the Soviet Air Defense Forces, Stanislav Petrov, which was certain that it was a false alarm due to the malfunction of the system. A full-on retaliation by the Soviet Union would have ensued. If not for one officer, most of you watching this video would probably not exist, nor would this video in that case. Number 3. Bioterrorism. Bioterrorism is defined by the use of infectious agents or harmful biological or biochemical substances as weapons of terrorism. These weapons can be easily accessible, near untraceable, and deadly to a large portion of the population. In the 1990s, a European biotech company prepared to commercially release a genetically engineered soil bacterium for use by farmers. The bacterium aggressively decomposes plant material, specifically wheat, into alcohol. The bacterium was called K. planticola. The wild strand of K. planticola inhibits the root system of most terrestrial plants, and it is responsible for the decomposition of all plant matter. So here is where things get ugly. The fermentation process didn't kill the modified K. planticola. It was still there, ready to turn dead plant material into alcohol. And on top of this, it didn't even wait until the plants were dead. The wild strand of bacterium resulted in a benign layer of slime on the living root system, but the engineered version would also be producing alcohol in the slime, leading to the poisoning of the host plant. If this bacterium was released in the wild, it would have resulted in the destruction of millions of crops across the globe, leading to the death of millions. Remember that the genetic engineers had good intentions? Imagine if it was the opposite. Number 2. AI. From Elon Musk to to Stephen Hawking, there is no shortage of warnings about artificial intelligence. The day true AI is developed will no longer be the smartest life form on the planet. In fact, the difference in intelligence will be limited only by access to processing power. It would be able to communicate with us, but we would not be able to communicate with it in any meaningful way. The intelligence gap would be so large that our ability to control or program it would likely become reductive within moments of its creation, leaving us at the mercy of our invention. Any set of law we put into AI to stop it from harming humanity would not work because of the reasons stated previously. We simply cannot control it. But the biggest issue is that a super intelligent computer would have no reason to want to keep humans around, especially when it sees that we are the main reason behind the destruction of our environment. It would see us as a simple pest, just like we see cockroaches, nothing more than a simple pest. And finally, number 1, asteroid impact. Our galaxy contains hundreds of millions of asteroids, some of which big enough to destroy our planet in an instant, to say the least. In 2005, a 390 meters wide asteroid called Apophis was said to potentially hit Earth by the year 2036 with the energy of 100,000 atomic bombs. The asteroid ended up passing Earth in the year 2013, which should make us feel relieved, except that it arrived 20 years earlier than expected, which shows how difficult it is to predict how long an asteroid would take to hit Earth. Alright people, that's it for today's list. If you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And down below, please tell us which scenario of these is most likely to happen. See you soon!